What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. Today on the table we have our first Keyforge second set Age of Ascension tournament match with commentary for you. On the left we have Robert, not myself. On the right we have John. We're playing at Black Knight Games in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. This was pre-release weekend. Before the game came out, we got some decks, played some sealed. Only got one deck, that's all you could play with. No getting multiple decks and choosing. So on the left we have a Mind Warper, we've seen him from first set, and on the right we have a Lash of Broken Dreams, and then a Call the Weak to destroy your opponent's least powerful creature. And one Amber, the little diamonds there, are going to be hard to see. Those are kind of clear on the right side, but one Amber to nothing. We have a Mind Worm placed out there, and Mind Worm, we know he's elusive, and he has before the fight, the creature Mind Worm fights deals damage equal to its power to each of its neighbors. I also put the deck list in the description below, so if you guys want to bring those up while watching, and you can kind of look up cards like I'm doing here to try to figure out all the cards in the new set. And beside him we have the Zizix Shockworm, I think is how you say that. Basically, the guy in the closest Mars guy to us there has the ability to basically stun your opponent's creatures when they reap. Yeah, it sounds like John's here on the race just trying to figure out how the Mind Worm works. So basically, the creature you're targeting with Mind Worm, you look at his power, and then you deal that power before the fight to its neighbors. So similar to some of the other cards that do before fight effects hitting the neighbors. Similar to that. Just a little worded differently, though. What is that other Mars artifact there? Trying to figure it out. Is it custom virus? Nope, I see it now. It is the combat pheromones we know from first set. So we can pop that and use a couple Mars creatures as an Omni, so not on a Mars turn. And on the other side, you just attached a upgrade. Containment field, I assume. So after this creature is used, you destroy it. And then he threw down two of the Ixilixi, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Basically, Fixed Finger, they give each other Martian creature +1 armor. Not Mars creatures, Martian creatures. So it's actually the trait. So it can give your opponents Martians +1 armor also. And it's only other Martians. So it does not give +1 armor to itself. But since there's two of them on the board on the right side there, they're each giving each other +1 armor. And one of my favorite destruction cards there, destroy them all. So easy. You just play that action, and you destroy an artifact, a creature, and an upgrade. So you got to be careful you don't have, it hits yourself. So you got to make sure the opponent has all that stuff out there. So he was able to blow up Lash of Broken Dreams, destroy one of the Fixed Fingers, and then get rid of that containment field that was on his Shockworm. Now we're to the right for John here. He's going on another Mars turn, dropping in a Dominator who comes into play stun, also has Taunt. And then he's throwing in a Sky Booster Squadron that have 4 power. They are Martian and Soldier, so he's getting an armor bonus from the Fixed Finger. He has Reap, return Sky Booster Squadron to your hand. So they work great with things like Mother Gun and Orbital Bombardment, because if they're in play already and you Reap with them, they return to hand, you can do those effects. Kind of some of the problems Mars had in first set are solved by that creature. And if you guys saw my first ever Age of Ascension deck video review or whatever of the first deck I got, I had 3 of those guys, I believe, in my first deck with a Mother Gun, which were super fun. You can go back and check that out. That's on the Rob's Gaming Table on YouTube. You can find that under the Keyforge videos. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe, hit that alarm bell button so you'll be notified when other Keyforge videos go up. I'm going to be doing the whole series here. These were best of 3 sealed games, so we did play a lot of games, so I should have 9 to 12 probably matches up for you. This is just game 1 of the best of 3 series. So the one I'll have coming after that will be these guys again playing for the second game. And then we'll just go on like that. And some of the other players in the tournament still haven't scanned in their deck list to make commentating harder. So if you can scan in your deck list, I will then be able to get to your game and commentate it much easier as I get used to these new cards.
I realized it as soon as I laid it down.
So we got combat pheromones popping off to allow the use of Mind Worm. Mind Worm's going to fight the Dominator, and of course the Dominator is 9 power, so that is going to hit its neighbors first off the Mind Worm's ability. And then nothing gets through because the Mind Worm's only a 1 power, so it doesn't do any damage to the Dominator, but the Dominator does hit back the Mind Worm and destroy it. And then it looks like he played Healing Blast there, which gained him an Amber. I don't know if he healed up anyone else there to get the bonus off it, but you can get 2 additional Amber if you heal someone for 4 power. And we have Hypno Beam coming in there, pulling over the Shockworm to the other side. And then we have Containment Field played out again. He does have 2 in his deck on the right. So both players, only the player on the right has Containment Field in his deck. And he does have 2 of them, so that's how he's able to play another one out there. So now that Sanctum guy, the 6 power Baron Mengevine, which are 2 of in Robert's deck on the left there. And that has the ability, after you discard a Sanctum card from your hand, he can capture 1. And I have used that to success in some of my Age of Ascension decks to discard some Sanctum cards and capture some power, basically, to prevent my opponent from forging. When those cards really wouldn't have helped me do that. It kind of turns those cards, some of the dead cards, I mean, some of them have Amber on them, but sometimes you have some dead Sanctum cards. It's great for discarding epic quests in decks with no knights in them, so thanks FFG for printing Baron Mengevine, or however you say it. So Caller of Subordination, that's kind of funny. He gets his Shockworm back using that disc upgrade from the first set. That's made it over to the second set, I believe. I don't think it's a legacy, but and now we have a Dust Imp coming into play. And what's he attached on the Dust Imp there?
Destroy the most powerful enemy creature. Okay.
I think that's Soul Keeper. Yes, it's Soul Keeper. Got an Amber off playing that upgrade on the Dust Imp there, and the creature gains the destroy the most powerful enemy creature. So when that Dust Imp blows up and gives his owner there 2 Amber, he's going to be able to destroy the most powerful enemy creature, sorry. And if there is none, it just fizzles and goes away. So it looks like Robert on the left's here now at 6 Amber. And John on the right looks like he's at 3 there. Kind of hard to tell, but it does look like 3. But he does have no board. John on the right has no board. Not looking good for him. We see Schuler out there on the left side at the bottom. Not sure if he stole any. I missed that there. Sorry. While I'm looking up card names and descriptions and stuff.
Let's go Untamed.
So it looks like Untamed on the right here is the house of choice. He goes Full Moon, plays Song of Spring, which does give him an Amber.
Kind of annoying.
And he has 3 copies of Song of Spring in his deck. You play it, you shuffle any number of friendly untamed creatures from your hand, discard pile, or battle line back into your deck. So any of the come into play effect creatures, great for those. And he's going to play Nature's Call to get an Amber. And he's going to bounce the Shockworm and the Dust Imp.
Oh, and bounce third target.
But the Shockworm, I think, was his own, and he stole it back, so it should go back to his own hand. And we got Papaka, which one is that? Papaka Jaga in play, which has Skirmish, and then creatures to the left of Papaka Jaga in the battle line gain Skirmish. And it has 3 power. One of the 2 kitty cat cards there. So we do have our first Keyforge there on the left. You see it up in the top left of your screen, flipped over, the core set keys. And on the right, it looks like John is in check with 7 Amber, I believe. And we see he's playing on his phone during the match, just texting his friend, trying to get some advice here. We're looking up some key Age of Ascension strats. Try to give him the advantage in the game. I'm just joking, John. He's probably just emailing or messaging his wife or girlfriend, telling him he's in a tournament and he will not be home till later, especially the fact that they made it best of 3 in sealed with a new set. So, of course, the time of the tournament's going to go for like 30 hours straight. Thanks to Black Knight for that. Just kidding. It was fun to play a lot of Age of Ascension that day, but it was long. Some players had to play 12 games in a row due to that format. But it helped us see a lot of the new cards in one day, which was cool. So on the left there, we have the Glixel Proliferator. He is a 3-power Martian soldier. He has Reap if he's on the flank. Archive a Mars card from your discard pile. Which is pretty cool to get some recursion going out of Mars. I like it. And we see he played Shockworm back out, the one that got bounced back to his hand from Nature's Call the previous turn. And now on the right, we have John playing Not Finished With You. Gets him an Amber. It's an action. He shuffles any number of creatures from his discard pile into his deck. So it's his choice. We're going to see what he picks here. He can pick none. He can pick a few. He's going to pick all the Mars, it looks like. So the 2 Fixed Fingers and the Sky Booster Squadron are going back into the deck there. Those 2 creatures that gave the +1 armor to Martians, other Martians. And then the Sky Booster Squadron was the guy that reaps and goes back to hand. He's going to try to load up a future Mars turn, it looks like, if we make it that far. So we do have 1 Keyforge there on the right now and 2 Amber remaining. So they're both tied at 1 key. No Amber on the left side for a Robert right now at this point. So we got Unlock Gateway as an Omega off disc here, ending the turn. And it destroys all creatures. So an excellent board wipe there, but it does end the turn. It's the last thing you can do on the turn since it has that Omega keyword. And because of that, John's not going to be able to do anything else, so he has an empty board again. Looks like he's got 1 card in the archive, 2 Amber, and 1 Keyforged. Over to Robert now to decide which faction he's going to play. And it looks like he's sitting on 1 key, no Amber, and also has an empty board. So it's a little hard to see what's in hand, but it looks like he's got a bunch of Dis and a bunch of Sanctum. Robert does on the left. He's choosing to play here. Which one is he going with? He's going with Dis. We got the Dust Imp coming back out that was bounced off Nature's Call. He's going to play Exhume. That gets him an Amber and allows him to grab a creature from his discard pile. Any creature, and he can play it as if it were in his hand and of the active house. Which allows him to play Mind Warper.
Is it a rare?
And I just figured out it's a common, and yes, it's amazing. Exhume is amazing, guys. I can tell you here, it's an awesome card. Great. You're going to see it in lots of high-level tournament decks, I'm sure. Just allows some cool tricks. So we got the Blood Shard Imp. 2 of them are in Robert's deck here. After a creature reaps, its controller must sacrifice it. It's 2 power, and it's an Imp trait. And that does affect both players. So we could reap with the Dust Imp there and then sacrifice it, gaining 2 Amber off the Dust Imp's ability, as destroyed ability there. So that's some cool interaction built into his deck. So we got John naming Mars, takes his archive, which looks like it was the Dominator, throws him into play, and he obviously gets stunned. We're all familiar with Dominator at this point. We have Fixed Finger coming in, giving all other Martian creatures +1 armor. I'm not sure if the Dominator is a Martian. Let's find out. The Dominator is not. He is just Robot. And then we have the Think Drone thrown out there on the right. He is a Martian, getting +1 armor, and has that Reap abilities from first set. You may archive a friendly creature or artifact from play.
There's a lot of hate on reaping in this set.
So we got 2 Amber on the right now for John. He's passed it over to Robert on the left. He is going to start with Dis. He's going to do that Reap off the Dust Imp to get the 2 Amber. He's now at 3 Amber. And he's going to Reap with the Amber Imp to sacrifice himself. And he does get an Amber off that, of course. Putting him at 5 Amber, I believe. So it was a cool turn. I don't know if I would have done it right there. Gets him close to a key, but not there yet. And he didn't play any cards, so he's still sitting with the same cards in hand, I believe. So I might have just left that on the board. But maybe he was worried that the Amber Imp would have been destroyed. Which I'm sure he would have. But at least it puts the Amber Imp stays out in play and puts the pressure on the opponent to get rid of it, or else he can't reap without sacrificing his own creatures, which looks like it would hurt John more. So we got another Mars board here. We got rid of the Mind Warper, and now we have another Mind Warper on the other side of the board. And now John's sitting at 2 Amber. And going over to Robert, he's Radiant Truth. Get an amber off that, if he remembers. Looks like he may not have remembered to take the amber for it, but he does stun every creature not on a flank on the enemy side there.
You have 9. Okay, so. Yep.
And now he's throwing down one of my favorite cards in the new set from Sanctum, the 5-power Human Knight, Barrister Joya. As enemy creatures cannot reap. Amazing. Amazing. And we see a Gatekeeper thrown down there, not doing his effect, obviously, because the opponent doesn't have enough amber to get it. And he looks like he's throwing on a Protect the Weak, giving +1 and Taunt. And he's got another one of the Barons down there.
Yeah, I got a Dominator.
So some fun boards being built here. And it looks like he got the amber there for Protect the Weak, so he is in check, but I believe he forgot the amber off Radiant Truth. You guys can let me know in the comments below if I was wrong or not. It will suck if the Mind Warper is used here just to take 1 amber and get Robert off forging a key when he could have if he had that extra amber. So yeah, John's in awe here, just staring at the creature not allowing him to reap, Barrister Joya. And he's getting beat down here by the Reap Hate that is built into the Age of Ascension second set here for Keyforge. Lots of these creatures that just hurt you for reaping. I love it. I mean, as a board of 4 Mars creatures, I mean, 2 of them are stunned, but you can get them off a key with Mind Warper alone. And you can get rid of the 2 stuns. And the Think Drone obviously can't reap, but maybe you can fight with it. The Mind Warper can do his ability since it's just an action, so he doesn't need to reap to do that. Probably in a tough spot. Maybe he doesn't have any Mars in hand. Let's see if he can stop Robert from forging, get him off a key, and also kind of set himself up for a forge. Or maybe he's focused on getting rid of Barrister Joya so he can start pushing more with reaps. He is going to choose Mars. He's going to do Mind Warper.
Move one of your amber to. Wait, are you at? I'm at 6. Oh, you are at 6. Okay, well, yeah.
He is going to move one to Gatekeeper off the Mind Warper. Since the Gatekeeper has Taunt, he probably thinks he's going to fight him first. So that's the next creature that will be blown off the board. Gets rid of the stuns on Fixed Finger and the Dominator. And he's just going to leave the Think Drone, not even use them. And it sounds like John wasn't happy with that turn, but it's the best he could do to get his opponent off a key. But as you saw, played no cards out of hand, so he's still sitting on the same hand. So he's kind of stuck. And now we'll see Robert go and probably get himself back into check position. So an awesome creature out of Sanctum in the new set, Lion Botrim, who has a deploy keyword, can put him anywhere on the battle line, and his neighbors get +2 power. So he's just buffed up the Gatekeeper there, making him harder to get through. And then he's kind of protecting himself, and now the Baron on the right side there has 8 power and 1 armor. Speaking of armor, we now have Abond the Armorsmith, or Abond. He's a human, 3 power. Other friendly creatures, not just Sanctum, other friendly creatures get +1 armor as the action for the remainder of the turn. Other friendly creatures get +1 armor. So you can use it as action to basically buff your guys, getting them 2 armor, and kind of go crazy with them on a turn.
Yeah, your Sanctum's pretty solid.
And he's building quite the battle line here of Sanctum.
People always say Sanctum isn't like Sanctum's not the best house, but it is the best support house. It really is.
Well, Sanctum has that one creature, your Ember cannot be stolen. So I think that if you have a good enough...
My creatures can't reap.
Yeah, it's a creature.
That's worse. My creatures can't reap.
It's a creature, so it can be destroyed.
Looks like Robert's going to start using some of his cards in play. He does have the, we see in hand there, he does have the Grey Rider, who's a 2-power human monk, can deploy also anywhere on the battle line. And as a play, fight, reap, you may ready and fight with a neighboring creature. So we're going to see him use some creatures in play, and then he's going to bring in the Grey Rider and most likely fight with another one of them. And we're going to see him start smashing the board of Mars creatures over there. And kind of putting pressure and continuing his lead here.
I know.
All right. So I guess
He's going to reap with the Baron and reap with Joya. And here comes the Grey Rider. He's just going to put him actually on the right flank and gets the Barristan up. And he's going to use the 8 power of the Baron just to smash a little 3 power Think Drone. And only takes 1 back.
Has no
thanks to having the buff off the Armor Smith and his own armor built in there. And it looks like Robert's back in check with 7.
Okay, let's go Dees then.
You can see by John's hand signals there, he's kind of like, yeah, doesn't know where to go here. It's a little frustrated.
Banish him to your archive.
Oh, so he was holding Banish the whole time there, looks like, and he has Play, put an enemy creature into your opponent's archives. So he does have a way to, you know, it's only for a turn. I'm sure she'll come right back, but...
And I have to discard 2 cards, which kind of sucks.
And it looks like, what else is John playing here? He's got down a Spider, who has Skirmish, and then Spider gains poison while attacking an enemy flank creature. So not on defense, only on the attack. And then he's got Old Yerk. He's got a couple of those in his deck. They are 5-power demon creature out of Dis. Play, choose and discard 2 cards from your hand, which I am okay with. It sucks if you're holding on to good stuff and they want to use next turn, but hey, that was your choice. But I do like the way it kind of dumps cards out of your hand that you may be holding and have no use for, and allows you to draw into some good stuff. And it could seed your discard pile for some good exhumes or regrowths or that kind of stuff if you have that stuff in your deck. So we have the second key forged here for Robert on the left. He has 1 Amber remaining. We know he has Barrister Joya in the archive there. And it looks like he's going a different house here. He doesn't care to go Sanctum. And he's going to go the Silver Key Imp, which is a special card in the set. There's the Bronze Imp, Silver Imp, and Gold... Bronze Key Imp, Silver Key Imp, and Gold Key Imp. Each one of them, the first one, the bronze one, stops your opponent from forging... Stops everyone, from forging their first key. They are elusive. And the Silver Imp stops the players from forging their second key. And the Gold Imp stops players from forging their third key. So the fact that Robert has slapped that down now, and he's already got a second key, he's now stopped John from forging his second key until that creature is left play, which is amazing. So another thing John has to deal with here that is frustrating him as he's slapping cards down. I love it. I do like Robert's deck here. It's very trolly. Very trolly. So he discards the Bloodshard Imp. And it looks like he used the second Caller of Subordination he had in his deck there to take the Dominator to his side. So he's basically beating John over the head with his own hand, kind of slapping himself in the face with his own hand. And he's kind of like, what do you say, playing with his food here. He's like just toying with John. So since Barrister Joy is gone, John can reap. Just looking through his hand, looking at his board, trying to figure which way to go here. He's got 3 Amber, so he can get some Amber going. He just can't forge his key until that Silver Key Imp is destroyed. So we see him drop Quicksand. He's going Untamed. Quicksand, destroy the most powerful creature controlled by each player who doesn't control a ready Untamed creature. So he ends up destroying his own Dominator. And we got Dharma coming into play. Nothing happening because no other damaged creatures, but she would gain you an Amber for each friendly damaged creature you have. And she does have that Reap effect, allowing her to heal 2 from a creature, I believe it is. Yeah, it's Reap, heal 2 damage from a friendly creature on Dharma. She's 2, she's an elf, and she's a witch. Not as scary of a witch as the other witches in the game, but she does have the witch trait. And it looks like we do have a Orbital Bombardment coming in. He's going to do reveal 4 cards, and he's going to do 2 damage. So he's got to do this in the right order because remember the Fixed Finger is giving +1 armor to the Mind Warper. So he's going to kill. He's got to do it in order here, and he's going to kill Fixed Finger, which gets rid of the extra armor. Then he gets rid of Mind Warper, so he will wipe the board here. Why didn't you do them all? Oh, Fixed Finger. Sorry, Fixed Finger is 3 damage or 3 powers. Sorry, I thought he was a 2. So he had to use 2 of the hits on the Fixed Finger to get rid of him.
Big hard
which
on.
removed the armor off the Mind Warper and then got him out of play. Left Dharma in play. He's okay with that. So we have 2 custom viruses dropped there. Those are the from the first set. They get them an amber each, and they are a weapon Omni artifact. You can sacrifice custom virus to purge a creature from your hand, and then destroy each creature that shares a trait with that purged creature.
No idea what that is. Deal 2 damage to a creature, then I move it.
And then he's going to drop in...
I'm gonna deal with 2 damage.
who is that there? It's the guy that comes in and play, deals 2 damage to a creature, and then you can move him. Beam Buckler, a Tixel Beam Buckler, Martian Soldier. And you play him, you deal 2 damage to a creature and move it to either flank of its controller's battle line. He has 1 armor and 4 power.
Ready, Tixel Bomb Buckler, and then I'll
And then he's going to ready him with Mars first and get the power. We see John conceding. So we will go on to a second game, so tune in for that. I want to hear what you guys think of the new set, so leave it in the comments below. If you guys want to see more Keyforge on the channel and you want to support the channel, you can either subscribe, click the like button, or donate over on Patreon. Thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.